I've been catfishing my own husband for 8 months. 9 months ago, something in him broke. I noticed the signs, the sleepless nights, the bottles in the garage, the flinch when I reached for him in the dark. I didn't understand what happened until I overheard him on the phone with someone from his past, a friend he hadn't spoken to in over a decade. Whatever they talked about cracked something open he'd kept buried for 15 years. After that call, he became a ghost in our own home. I begged him to see a therapist, a doctor, anyone who could help carry whatever was eating him alive. He refused and said he was fine, treating every question like an accusation. Then one night I borrowed his laptop and found his browser history full of anonymous forums where he poured himself out to strangers at 2 a.m., confessing things he'd never speak to me. That's when I realized my husband could only be honest with people who didn't know him. So I became someone who didn't know him. I created an account and sent him a message responding to one of his posts, something simple that showed I understood without pushing. He responded within an hour. The first few weeks were surface level stuff about feeling stuck and like the walls were closing in. But 3 months in came the message that changed everything. He wrote, "When I was 19, I was supposed to drive my little brother home from a party. I'd been drinking and didn't want to leave yet, so I told him to find another ride. He got in a car with someone even more drunk than me. The crash killed him and 2 other people. My parents still think it was just a terrible accident. They don't know their oldest son is the reason their youngest is dead." I read that message sitting on our bed while he was in the garage, and I had to lock myself in the bathroom so he wouldn't hear me crying. 15 years of marriage, and I never knew he had a brother. A week later, he brought up the online friend in conversation, casually mentioning he'd been talking to someone who actually understood him. I sat across from him nodding and asking questions about this stranger, while my phone sat in my pocket with his unread messages. 2 months after that, he mentioned wanting to meet up with this person, and I had to invent a reason why the friend lived overseas and couldn't video chat. Every lie felt like swallowing glass, but the alternative was watching him drown without a rope. Then one night, a message came through that made my whole body go cold. Sometimes I think about what it would feel like to just not exist anymore. Not in a scary way, just quiet. Just finally giving back what I stole. I was in our bedroom when I read it. He was 40 feet away in the garage. I spent 2 hours talking him back from whatever edge he was standing on, and the whole time my hands were shaking so hard I could barely type. I saved his life that night as a stranger because he wouldn't let me save him as his wife. The cruelest part was how he talked about our marriage. He wrote, "My wife is the best thing that ever happened to me, but loving her makes it worse. Every happy moment is another moment my brother never got. She deserves someone who isn't just borrowing a life that was never supposed to be his." Then a few weeks before everything unraveled, he said the online friend had a way of saying things that felt familiar, like someone he couldn't quite place. He laughed it off, but the way he looked at me when he said it made me think he was already starting to figure it out. Last month we were sitting at dinner and I could see him circling the drain. His eyes were empty, his food untouched, and he looked like a man who'd already made a decision. I couldn't do it anymore. I reached across the table, grabbed his hand and said, "What happened to your brother wasn't your fault." He went completely still. The color drained from his face and I watched the pieces click together. He pulled his hand back like I'd burned him. "You've been pretending to be someone else this whole time? Making me think I had one person I could actually trust?" His voice cracked on the word trust. I slid my phone across the table so he could see 8 months of messages. I told him I'd read every single confession. Every 2 a.m. message he thought disappeared into the void, and I was still choosing him. He broke in a way I'd never seen, not falling apart but finally letting go of something he'd been clenching for 15 years. He's seeing a real therapist now. He finally told his parents the truth about that night, but what I keep thinking about is what I found on his phone the morning after that dinner. It was a draft message to my account from a week before I slipped. He never sent it. It said, "I think I know who you are. Thank you for not giving up on me when I wanted you to."